Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host Puborama, and in today's video I'll be breaking into the 10 fastest cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. This is applicable to all players, whether you're on PC, console, it doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to be breaking the HSW vehicles today, which I did in a previous one, but these are the 10 fastest non-HSW vehicles in the game. So, with that being said, we're going to be breaking into them, and I should mention I'm also going to be talking about their differences, capabilities, handling, and my personal feelings about them, which ones I think are a good buy, and which ones maybe you should stay a little bit away from. With that being said, we're going to get into the number 10 position, which is the Grotte Itali GTO Stinger TT. This is the only Amani Tech vehicle to make today's video. Now, it's not the only armored car. In fact, there's quite a few armored vehicles and weaponized, but this is the only one that features Amani Tech survivability, meaning that it can survive upwards of 10 homing missiles, 4 sticky bombs, and you can equip a missile lock-on jammer, basically making this thing impervious to explosions. Not only that, but it's fast, and it actually has pretty good handling. While the HSW variant of this vehicle is quite poor on the handling, if you play on PC or older generation console, I'd actually say that the base variant is quite good on its handling, and the grip is not much of a problem at all, especially if you are running off-road tires like I like to on my Grotte Itali GTO. I'm not going to say it's the best sports car. I do think that vehicles like the Pariah and RSX are better in terms of lap time and handling, but the fact that this one has explosion resistance and a missile lock-on jammer definitely places it a little bit above the rest, but that's what I will say about the Stinger TT. Next up, we have our first arena war vehicle, this one being the Dominator Future Shock. Now, technically, it doesn't matter which variant you buy, whether it's the Future Shock, the Nightmare, or the Apocalypse, they're all the same in terms of speed. This vehicle has a speed boost. We can see when I press the A button on my Xbox remote, a speed boost will activate and it shoots flames out of the exhaust. And that speed boost allows this vehicle to go at an average of 134 miles per hour, which is absolutely insane. Not only that, but the plow actually works on this vehicle, as you can see, which is really nice. It means that you can just launch vehicles out of your way. Traffic really is never a problem for the Dominator, which is something I absolutely love. I think we can also agree this is just one of the coolest looking vehicles in the game. It also has mines that you can place all over. You also have a piece of metal armor that you can shoot off of the back of the Dominator, which will stop an opponent from, being able to not only shoot you, but also throw them off the road if it's able to hit them. Usually, I actually like to keep the armor on the back because it keeps the entire rear portion completely bulletproof. In terms of survivability, the Dominator can survive 2 missiles before being blown up, and in general, it's a really, really fun arena war vehicle to mess around with, and I think it looks amazing. However, the big downside of all arena war vehicles is the handling sucks. You have incredible acceleration and top speed at the downside of grip. These things slide all over the road. Even if you're very good at driving, the lap time is going to be terrible. Now, if you're driving down the highway, yeah, these are great. But, yeah, every other vehicle here is going to be faster than the arena war variants, which is something to keep in mind. Up next, we have a sports car, a very sexy sports car, the Grotte Itali RSX. I personally love the look of this vehicle, and not only that, but it's quick. The RSX goes at a top speed of 134.5 miles per hour. And unlike the Dominator, it doesn't require any speed boost or special enhancement to achieve this speed. Just by holding down the accelerator, the RSX can go a crazy amount. And not only that, but it is super quick on acceleration. It's also all-wheel drive, as we can see, which makes it really good around the corners and overall handling. This is basically the best handling sports car you're going to find in the game for lap time and everything. It's just a fantastic vehicle, but to be fair, it comes with quite the expensive price tag. The RSX is around $3.4 million to get your hands on, making it one of the most expensive sports cars in the game. Now, you can get that price tag decreased if you get the trade price, but even with the trade price, this is still one of the most expensive sports cars in the game. We can actually see it if we sort by two-door, and we just scroll through the vehicles here. The RSX should pop up, and there you go, 2.6 million. it might be the most expensive sports car in the game. So while it is fast, it comes with a quite large sticker price as well. And because of that, I'd probably recommend to go with the Pariah, which we'll be talking about in just a little bit. With that being said, next up we have another Arena War vehicle, this one being the Imperator. I like the Imperator. It looks pretty cool. It's got a decent amount of customization. This one here, I decided to have kind of like a nonchalant look. I love how the wheels glow at night, which is also really, really sick. Once again, just like the Dominator, the Imperator also has the ability to launch vehicles out of its way very easily with that front-mounted plow. Once again, it has that same boost mechanic. Holding down, or should I say tapping the A button or the X button on the PlayStation remote will allow you to activate the speed boost and achieve a crazy quick top speed of 135 miles per hour. Well, actually, it's faster than 135, but the way that these top speeds are gotten is it's averaged out from the downtime of waiting for the boost to come back, and then the acceleration and top speed with the boost, because I think that's the best way to do it. I should mention that all of these numbers are grabbed from gtacars.net, which is a very trusted website, one that I've used all over before. It's actually Gruffy1322's YouTube channel. So with that being said, the Imperator, pretty fun vehicle. Once again, though, the handling is quite dookie balls, so definitely keep that in mind. Again, this is not one of the fastest in terms of lap time, but hey, if you're going for a top speed, it's definitely going to get you there quite quickly. Next up, we arrive to the Toreador. This is probably the best vehicle in the entire lot here today if you're looking for a do-it-all. The Toreador features a rocket boost. It's one of two vehicles in today's video which has a rocket boost, and we can see what it does. It allows you to accelerate up to 135.5 miles per hour in an incredibly quick amount of time. Not only that, but the Toreador has incredible handling, which is definitely something that I would say is sought after. The level of grip and the fact that, you know, it's a four-seater, it kind of checks all the boxes. Not only that, it has homing missiles, and these are spammable homing missiles. It has an unlimited amount of them, making it the only weaponized car in the game that has unlimited homing missiles. When you pair all of that together with the fact that this vehicle can also survive upwards of 5 homing missiles before it gets blown up, the fact that it has a submersible mode, which also allows you to just do whatever you want under the water. I mean, the Toreador really is crazy. Oh yeah, and it also has literally the most dangerous machine guns for a vehicle. You can see how quickly they will blow anything up. We got a full health car here, and watch this. Watch how quick it blows up the car. I mean, that is insane. In general, the Toreador is not a vehicle to be messed with. It is expensive. It's sitting at around a 3.6 million. Maybe it's even more. Maybe it's like 4.2 million. It's an expensive vehicle, but you've got the speed, you've got the handling, you have the acceleration, survivability. In general, if you're looking for the best do-it-all car, Toreador is the way to go. Now, if you're planning on doing missions, then the Vigilante is better, but we'll talk about the Vigilante in a little bit. With that being said, after the Toreador, we arrive to the Ocelot Pariah. Now, if you're looking for the best bang for your buck, top speed vehicle, the Pariah is probably the way to go. First of all, I think the Pariah looks amazing. I think we can all agree this is a fantastic looking sports car. Not only is it really nice looking, it has great handling, and while it may not have as good acceleration as the Itali RSX, personally I think it's actually better in the cornering and overall grip, which is kind of wild because it is rear wheel drive. The Pariah, as I said, is incredibly fast. It goes 136 miles per hour, not only making it faster than the Itali RSX, but believe it or not, it's quite a bit cheaper. As we said, the RSX is $2.6 million to get your hands on. The Pariah, $1.4 million to get your hands on. That makes this almost half the price of the RSX, which is quite a steal when you think about it. As I said, this is basically the best budget top speed vehicle. Even if you're playing on next generation console, the Pariah is always a fantastic shout to get your hands on. It looks amazing. It's got very good customization. And there's really no reason why you wouldn't want to get your hands on the vehicle for the level of speed and power that the thing does feature. Next up, we have one that a lot of people probably wouldn't expect to make it into a top speed list, and that is this, the BF Weevil Custom. To get your hands on this vehicle, you have to get the Weevil, and the Weevil is located on southern San Andreas in the two-door section. The Weevil is literally just a Volkswagen Beetle. That's all it is. And we can see it right here. It's $650,000. I don't remember exactly how much the upgrade is for the Weevil Custom, but it's not cheap, I can tell you that. However, this is an incredibly fast vehicle. The Weevil Custom goes 137.5 miles per hour, which is kind of wild when you actually consider everything added together. Not only that, but it has an insane amount of customization. I would say it has by far the most customization out of all the vehicles in today's top speed listing. It also can do pretty sick wheelies because it is a muscle car after all, and we can see that right here. So you can do wheelies, you've got that speed. It also has ridiculous levels of acceleration. But believe it or not, I actually think the Weevil somehow has worse handling than the Arena War vehicles. And let me show you really quick, right? I'm going to accelerate up to a decent amount of speed here, and now I'm going to try and turn the Weevil. Well, let's get through this little bit of area here. This is me full turning the Weevil left and right. Yeah, it's bad. Anybody that owns the Weevil will instantly know why this is maybe not the best vehicle in the game. It looks cool, and if you're going just for straight highway speeds, then yeah, the Weevil is pretty dang fun. But it has some of the worst handling I've ever seen in the game. Even with off-road tires, the grip is terrible. And what's weird is that not only is the grip terrible, it has the worst turning arc I've ever seen. It's like, it's pretty tragic. That's what I will say. This thing is a top speed dragster. It is not going to be something you're going to actually drive anywhere apart from the highway, but it does look pretty cool. And if you're ever planning to have a very fun customizable car, yeah, the Weevil is definitely a solid shout. Next up, we arrive to the newest vehicle which has been added into the game, and that is the car all the way in the back corner here, the Bravado Banshee GTS. I love the GTS. First of all, I think it looks amazing. It has so many different liveries, so many different customization options. It looks amazing. I mean, how can you not like Viper? Not only that, but this thing's fast. It goes 138 miles per hour. This is the fastest sports car, which doesn't have any special speed boost or capabilities going for it. It has great handling as well. It's unlike the Pariah and all these other vehicles. It actually has great grip. It actually has great acceleration. It has it all. This really is an incredible car. And out of the list today, I would probably say if you're just going for a normal sports car that you want to drive around, you want to have an incredible lap time, and don't entirely break the bank, and the Bravado Banshee GTS is probably the way to go. We can see it here for a $2 million price tag. Honestly, I don't think $2 million is that ridiculous of a price tag to ask for a vehicle like this. I mean, as I said, it's 138 miles per hour, which is incredibly quick, and it looks amazing. It's got great customization. If you're playing on next generation console, heck, it has an HSW upgrade. It's kind of got it all. And because of that, I do think that it's probably the best sports car in the entire list today. It's probably one of the best cars in general for you to consider picking up. I absolutely love the GTS, and I'm actually really happy that Rockstar did add another top speed beast into the fray, especially for the older gen players and the PC players, as we still do not have expanded and enhanced available yet. With that being said, we are now in the final two, and with that, in the number 2 position, we have the ZR380, which is right in front of me. I love the ZR380. I think it looks amazing. Now, this one here, I've fully kitted out for the you know, the doomsday scenario. We got front-mounted lasers. We got the frickin' death grinder on the front, which will literally flip any vehicle out of your way, which is kind of insane and makes it incredibly fun. But you also have a speed boost. We can see once again the flames roaring out of the back of this vehicle, and that speed boost allows the ZR380 to reach a whopping 142 miles per hour, which again is pretty crazy. I mean, this thing is fast. It's fun. It's definitely one of my favorite armored vehicles in the game. By the way, I should mention, this thing actually has pretty impressive armor. First of all, the front glass on this vehicle is completely bulletproof. As we can see, it is impossible to shoot anybody through the front. It's also not actually bulletproof on the back. People don't know this, but you can shoot through the back. But because the spoiler is so large, it basically eats all the shells, as we can see. So it's nearly impossible to die from the back as well. Not only that, I think the vehicle looks incredible. Even if you don't want to put the spinny blades of death on on the front. It still has some great customization going for it. It looks fantastic. And it's fast. Once again, though, it has the major problem of the fact it's undrivable on any windy roads unless you're going slow, because it's an arena war vehicle, and arena war vehicles have terrible handling. I really wish that wasn't the case, because, man, if these vehicles handled well, I would love to drive them. Maybe Rockstar could have made it so that if you weren't running weapons, it would drive better, and I would definitely do that, but unfortunately that's not the case. But still a very, very fun vehicle to mess around with. With all of that being said, the final vehicle to enter today's video in the #1 position is the Vigilante. The Vigilante is by far the fastest at 146 miles per hour, and that is once again because this thing has a rocket boost. And the Vigilante doesn't just have a rocket boost, it's also quite heavy, meaning that, well, vehicles don't really stop you, as we can see. If something gets in your way, well, it's not going to be in your way for long. You can see it just sends cars so quickly. Not only that, it has rockets, which is really, really nice. Homing missiles are always going to be a very, very capable thing. I'm a little worried that the homing missiles are going to blow me up, but yes, it has homing missiles. And believe it or not, this is the only weaponized vehicle which features homing missiles that can be used in missions, making this an absolutely fantastic buy for anybody out there that plans on grinding missions or heist setups. A great example would be something like the facility heists, you know, the Doomsday Act 1 through 3. This is one of the best vehicles to do the heist setups in. It makes life a lot easier. In general, the Vigilante is a fantastic vehicle, and it's definitely one I always recommend for a lot of mission grinders to get. It's fast, obviously. It's incredibly fast. Even if you're looking at HSW vehicles, this is still one of the fastest cars in the game, easily in the top 10 for next-gen console. It's just super, super fun to mess around with. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my list for the top 10 fastest vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know which one of these vehicles is your favorite, if you're surprised any of these made the list, and if you're surprised what vehicles didn't make the list. But yeah, as always, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. You know, from your point of view, it looks like, oh, I just got all these cars really quickly added into my garage, and it was pretty easy to do. But in reality, this took a lot more effort than you think, because of the fact I didn't have a lot of these vehicles on my current account right now, and because I have my Broke to Millions account reset on my other grind, it means that basically I had to spend the last 2 hours buying, upgrading, and getting all of these vehicles sent into the proper garage so that I could line them up for you guys here today. So there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes in these videos, and I always try to keep up to date with the most relevant information for you. So as always, please consider smashing that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!